Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how I can create this abstract animated pattern in Blender. You can get the file for $1 on Gumroad through the link in the description. So let's get started. As always, I'll use this HDRI. You can find the link to that in the description. Add a plane and let's go to front view and press delete on the numpad and now 8 on the numpad 2 times. Add a camera. Ctrl-Alt-0 to go into camera view and G, Z, Z to move on the local Z axis, G, Y now, and again G, Z, Z. Now let's add a Suzanne. Ctrl-3 to subdivide and trade smooth. Go into side view and scale it down, somewhere around here for example, and rotate it, move it up. And now press G, Y. Add an icosphere. Set the subdivisions to 3 and subdivide it by 3 and shade smooth. Go to side view and edit mode and move it up until the mesh is at the cursor here, like this. I'm doing this because now the origin is also at this point of the mesh. Now for example, if we scale the mesh, it will scale at the origin. Now scale it down, like this for example, and press G Shift Z to only move it on the X and Y axis, and let's duplicate it a couple of times. Once you've done that, select all of the icospheres and press F3 and type in randomize. Randomize transform, and under scale, check scale even and randomize the scale, like this. As you can see, these two are intersecting and we don't want that, so make sure that none of them are intersecting. Let's save now and go to shading. Go to rendered view and make sure it's set to Eevee, and also make sure that all these options here are enabled. Go to the world properties and set the strength to 5. And now let's create a new material. Press A and Ctrl L, link materials. Add a wave texture and also add a mask wave texture. Set the mask wave to 40 and connect the color to the W. Also add a mix RGB. Connect the height to color 1. Let's Ctrl Shift click on the mix RGB. As you can see, it didn't copy the materials to the other objects for some reason, so let's try that again. Press A, Ctrl L, link materials, and now it works. Duplicate these two nodes and put them down here and set this to Y. Now connect the height to the color 2. Move these over and duplicate the mix RGB 2 times. Now connect the height to color 1 again and the height here to color 2. And let's connect this color to the color 2 here and to the factor. By the way, if you want to have these previews here, you can get the no preview add-on for the link in the description. Now with this mix RGB selected, press Ctrl T and delete the image texture and move this down and connect it to color 1. Let's use the generated and plug it into the vector. Now let's open the timeline here. Go to timeline and set the X location to -5. Keyframe it by pressing I and go to frame 125. Now set it to 5 and keyframe it again. And now let's set it to -5 again on frame 250. Go back to rendered view and let's deselect all of this. Now shift select the principled BSDF and add a mix shader. Put it up here and duplicate it. Let's plug it in here. Set the metallic for both of them to 1 and the roughness to 0. Now add a gradient texture. Put it here. Connect the color of the gradient texture to the vector. And here let's use the color and plug it into the vector. Let's also plug the color in here. Now let's grab this mix RGB and connect it to the color here and to the normal here. Add a bump node. Put it here. Set the strength to 0.1 and let's also plug the normal in here. Plug the color in here as well and add a color ramp. Let's set this black to something light blue, for example. Now duplicate the color ramp and put it here. And let's make this orange. We also need to use the height here, not the normal. Let's save again, and now if you play the animation you should have something like this. I think I'm going to make both the colors a little darker like this, for example. And let's do the same for the blue. Go to the output properties and let's set this to JPEG and quality to 100%. Let's create an output folder. I'm going to create one called render. And if you put an underscore after the name of the rendered images, Blender is going to automatically assign numbers to the frames. Click on accept. Now go back to the render properties and under color management set the look to very high contrast. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I think it looks cool. One last thing that I'm going to do before rendering that will make this look even better is to add an empty plane axis. Go up here to snapping, set it to face and now press G, Shift X and Control. Now it will snap to the faces. I'm going to put the empty around here and set this back to increment and go into camera view. Go to the rendered view and select the camera and go here. Enable depth of field. Now select the empty as the focus object and let's set this to 0.75. Set the blades to 16 and I think this looks much better. Let's save again and go to render animation. Once it's done rendering, you can close this window, go up here to video editing and hover over the file location and copy it. Now go to FFmpeg video, under encoding set it to MPEG 4 and the output quality to high quality. Make sure you're on frame 1. Now hit Shift A, image sequence and paste in the location minus the name. Press A and enter. Now save again go to render and render animation, and now Blender is going to compile the separate images into a video. So that's it with the tutorial. I hope you liked it. Please let me know what I should do next and I'll see you next time.